My name was Camille Rodriguez. Today was my third wedding anniversary. On the kitchen counter sat a handmade anniversary card. The cover read, "To my dearest Stefan." Beside it was a cup of steaming coffee. Then a hand picked up that card. Stefan. He didn't open it. He just set it aside beside a stack of papers. I spent 3 hours on that card. Every word I thought mattered. He handed me a document. It was the divorce papers.
Sign here. And here.
His movements were efficient, like he was handling an ordinary business contract.
You're doing this today? On our anniversary?
There's no point dragging this out.
Are you seeing another woman?
Yes.
My hand trembled, and the coffee spilled onto the table. The cup rolled down to the floor and broke. A photo slipped from between the papers and landed in the spilled coffee. It was my adopted sister, the one my parents adored more.
Rose? The other woman? Is Rose?
She helped pick my wedding dress. She taught me how to be a perfect wife. She called every night to check on my marriage. It turned out everything she did for me was just part of her trap.
I didn't mean to hurt you.
Hurt me? This was destruction. I reached for the broken cup. The shard cut into my palm. Blood dripped onto the divorce papers, onto Rose's photograph. I picked up that photo soaked in coffee. Rose's smile was stained brown. I have you to thank for the lessons. Now watch how well I learned them. I wanted to drive back to my parents' house for comfort, but my mother called me first.
Camille, this is ridiculous. Come home so we can discuss this.
It turned out Rose had already called our parents first, crying her own version of events. In the living room, father, mother, and Rose stood together like a complete family portrait.
Don't think badly of your sister.
We never meant to hurt you, Camille. Some feelings just can't be hidden.
Camille, don't get so worked up. Rose has explained everything. It's a misunderstanding.
She stole my husband!
Don't be so harsh. What Stefan and she haves, it didn't happen overnight. You should understand.
I should understand? That's ridiculous. From the day Rose joined this family, I'd been losing everything piece by piece. My college acceptance, my first love, my parents, my husband. I took out my phone and played a message. Stefan's voice filled the room.
Rose is my soulmate. We tried to fight it, but some people are just meant to be together. You have to understand.
I never wanted to hurt you. I just couldn't help it.
My hand came up and struck Rose across the face.
Ah! Camille! Have you lost your mind?
No. I was crazy for 14 years. Today is the first day I'm seeing clearly. Do you know when she started sleeping with my husband? While I was still picking out his ties? While I was in the kitchen making his favorite meals? All they left me was silence, so I decided to leave.
Where are you going?
Away from this house. Or rather, Rose's house. I never belonged here. I grabbed my keys and walked out of the house that was never truly mine. When I finally found a hotel to stay at, it was already late at night. The parking lot was dead silent, and his footsteps were loud.
Going somewhere, Mrs. Rodriguez?
I reached for my pepper spray, then turned around and aimed it right at his eyes.
Screw you!
He covered his eyes and took a step back, but then rushed forward again soon. He grabbed me from behind and yanked me to the ground.
She sent you, didn't she? My dear sister.
He didn't answer, just drove his fist into my stomach, then my ribs.
Just when I thought I would die there, a new voice cut through the air.
That's enough.
I looked up through swollen eyelids. A woman with silver hair stood under the lights.
Behind her was a much taller bodyguard who immediately subdued the thug.
Ma'am, my employer told me to.
She looked at me as if she were seeing something impossible. Your employer is about to very bad day.
The last thing I remember was the scent of her perfume and the words she spoke as she knelt beside me. You look just like my daughter. Then I fainted.
I woke up in agony. An unfamiliar ceiling. An unfamiliar bed. But the sharp pain in my ribs told me I was still alive.
You've got 3 bruised ribs and a mild concussion. The doctor says you need rest.
The woman who saved me in the parking lot was sitting in a chair beside my bed.
Who are you? Where am I?
You're somewhere safe. My name is Victoria Kane.
Victoria Kane, the head of Kane Ventures. The woman Forbes called the Queen of Wall Street. Almost everyone knew her.
Why did you save me?
Because you remind me of my daughter. She handed me a photo of a young girl with a bright smile. Her face was almost identical to mine. Her name was Sophia. 10 years ago, her fiancé's family didn't approve of the match.
Victoria's voice was calm, but her knuckles were white around that photograph.
They cut her brake lines. She died on a mountain road. I know everything about you.
You are following me?
I've observed you for a long time. I know everything about you. The college acceptance Rose sabotaged. The diary she forged. The jobs she made sure you didn't get. The friends she slowly turned against you. I've been waiting for you to be completely broken and ready to restart. I can help you. Make everyone who hurt you pay the price.
What do you get out of this?
A chance to finish what Sophia couldn't. Her voice didn't tremble as she spoke.
When do we start?
We already have.
Victoria turned on the TV, which was showing the news. Local woman feared dead after car plunges into river. Body still missing.
I let someone push your car into the river, and now everyone believes Camille Rodriguez is drowned, including your sister. She has already been celebrating. Victoria showed me a photo. Rose was having a party in the apartment, holding a wine glass in her hand.
I looked at my own face on that news. The humble woman, she had died the other night in the parking lot. That night, I had a suffocating dream. I stood outside a fancy restaurant. Inside, Rose and Stefan sat by candlelight, celebrating. She was too easy, Stefan. Too desperate to be loved. Their laughter pierced the glass, stabbing into my ears. Then the scene shifted. Rain hammered the windshield, and my car was rammed off the bridge railing. I looked up through the window. They all stood on the bridge. Rose, Stefan, my mom, and my dad.
Should we call someone?
What's the point? She was always such a disappointment.
I woke up screaming. My face was already covered with tears. I sat on the bed, crying bitterly.
Enough.
Victoria stood in the bedroom doorway.
A Kane would not be in such a helpless situation.
At 3 a.m, Victoria led me to a private gym inside the mansion.
Hit that bag. Not with your hands, with your rage. Think of your sister's face. Think of the moment your husband signed those papers.
I hit it, soft at first, then harder. Harder. At last, my strength drained from me.
From sunrise onward, you are no longer their victim. You are my heir, my daughter.
Before she turned to leave, she paused at the door.
This is the last time. The last time you break for them.
Before the sun had fully risen, Victoria was already in the chair beside my bed, holding a stack of files.
By morning, you'll meet my lawyers. The adoption papers will be finalized by noon. By evening, you'll have begun your first lessons in finance, business strategy, and social warfare.
What if I'm not strong enough?
I will teach you about power. Not the petty games your sister plays.
She opened the topmost file. It was Rose's fashion label, Louis Atelier.
Your sister is seeking $5 million in startup capital for her boutique clothing line.
I looked at that business plan. Rose's dream. Her life. Start with her brand. Start with the thing she cares about most. Victoria looked at me. There was something almost like pride in her eyes.
Let them build their entire world and then, from the inside, pull it apart. That's revenge.
That morning, I signed my new name onto legal documents. Camille Elizabeth Kane. Three weeks later, Victoria took me to a private cemetery. The white headstone was simple, just Sophia's name.
Today marks 10 years since I lost her. She fell in love with Oliver Preston, old money. The Kanes were new money, so they thought my Sophia was not good enough. She knelt, laying a bouquet of white lilies before the stone. 6 months after their engagement, she died on a mountain road. The brake lines were cut. The police called it an accident. I knew the truth. I destroyed the people who killed her, one by one. They took what was most precious to me, so I took everything from them.
Then she handed me a small wooden chest. Inside was dark blue velvet, empty.
This is your funeral. Camille Lewis's funeral.
I placed my wedding ring inside, the bracelet from my 16th birthday, our wedding photo. Everything that proved I was that person. All of it went inside.
Once locked, this chest will be buried here, beside Sophia. Camille Lewis will rest here forever.
Understood.
She locked the chest and buried it in the earth beside Sophia's grave. I watched each shovel of dirt fall. My past self was completely buried.
In the car on the way back, Victoria handed me her phone.
They arranged a memorial service for you right away. Your body hasn't even been found yet.
In the photo, Rose was holding Stefan tightly in the memorial. Her carefully crafted makeup and pose made her look extremely charming. She seemed to be crying for me, but her tight hug of Stefan betrayed her. She was merely showing off. This kind of photo no longer has any effect on me. I turned off the screen and set the phone down. That day was the first day of my new identity. It was also my birthday. Back in the study, Victoria showed me a file that shouldn't exist.
From now on, you are Camille Kane, Stanford, class of 2016, summa cum laude, double major in economics and computer science, and a Harvard Business School MBA. She handed me file after file, Stanford transcripts, Harvard acceptance letter,
group photos from Swiss boarding schools. The girl in them looked like me, but not quite. Digitally altered. These can pass an investigation?
Money can make anyone testify. When my training for you is completed, you'll sit across from your sister as the heir to Kane Ventures. You'll decide how high she gets to climb and from where she falls.
How long will it take?
1 year. Time for your new identity to take root in the world. Time for every skill you need to become instinct.
I pressed my hand on that Stanford diploma. I had never gone to college. Rose stole that from me. Then Victoria opened a surveillance file. I saw Rose in a white dress on a blue Greek beach, Stefan's arm around her waist. Below it was a caption, "Our sister would bless us from heaven." Your sister posted it. After crying on TV, they booked the flight tickets. I should have cried, but I didn't. I don't want to just watch anymore. I want to control everything.
Then let's begin.
Next day, Victoria took me to a private clinic, Dr. Torres. Her client list included Hollywood stars, politicians, and billionaires.
No one looking for a victim will recognize a queen.
After the surgery, my face healed from the swelling. The new contours emerging bit by bit. During combat training, my coach Jason threw me onto the mat, and I got up. He threw me again, and I got up again. The first time I successfully countered, a flicker of surprise crossed Jason's eyes. Psychology sessions. Inside the VR headset, I stood on top of the water, the bridge crumbling beneath them. I pulled off the headset. The expression on my face was no longer fear. A completely new woman stood before the mirror. Dark, short hair, sharper cheekbones, a firmer jawline. No longer that humble Camille Lewis.
Are you ready?
My name is Camille Kane. I am Victoria Kane's daughter. I am the heir to Kane Ventures.
One day after training, I found Victoria sitting by the window, holding an old photograph. This is my husband and son. 20 years ago, a business retaliation. A truck lost control and killed them. It took me 10 years to send those people to hell. Then I built all this, but I never had a family again.
She didn't cry. Her eyes were exactly the same as the ones I saw in my own reflection. You won't be alone anymore. She looked at me but said nothing. But from that day on, my training got even harder. One day, Victoria was away on business in Tokyo. I was alone in the mansion. I wandered the mansion alone. I found myself on the 3rd floor in front of a door that was always locked. I found an old key in her study. The door opened. It was Sophia's room. The chess game paused mid-play. Magazines were from 10 years ago. Dried flowers remained pinned to her clothes. Just as I picked up the photo frame on the desk, a voice sounded behind me.
Who let you in?
The photo frame slipped from my hands. It landed on the carpet. Victoria stood in the doorway. Her face was frozen in ice. I thought you were in Tokyo.
The flight was canceled.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have...
Today was her birthday.
She walked slowly into the room. Her fingers brushed against the white knight on the chessboard.
The knight was her favorite. They're the only pieces that don't move in straight lines.
She walked to the closet and took down a small wooden box from the top shelf.
This is for you. She would want you to wear it.
Then she took a thin silver bracelet from the box, with a tiny knight charm hanging from it.
I can't.
You can.
I fastened that bracelet around my wrist. The silver knight glinted in the light.
Not because you're replacing her, because you're continuing the game. She never got to finish.
Victoria took me to observe the reading of my own will. I watched from behind a one-way mirror. I saw Rose holding Stefan's hand, sitting right next to my parents. The lawyer produced the last will I had revised before my death. Don't worry, Camille. I will inherit everything from you.
Proceeding to the court's declaration of death in absentia, Camille Lewis's last will and testament is now being read.
Rose's expression was calm.
To my sister, Rose Lewis, I leave my collected journals. May she find in these the truth I never spoke aloud.
Something flickered across Rose's face.
To my former husband, Stefan Rodriguez, I return the engagement ring that belonged to his grandmother.
Stefan lowered his eyes.
As to the remainder of my estate, including the trust fund established by my grandfather,
the Cedar Hill Estate,
and all financial assets and investments, I direct that it be donated in its entirety to the Lighthouse Foundation to establish the Camille Lewis Memorial Fund for the education and support of girls leaving the foster system.
30 million? 30 million to foster girls?
Rose's voice sounded like it was being strangled.
The will is clear, legal, and binding.
That's not possible.
Enough.
My father stood up. He looked 10 years older.
This was Camille's decision. We will respect it.
Rose shut her mouth.
That night, I followed Stefan to the cemetery. He thought no one was watching. He knelt before my empty grave, a ring in his hand. It's his grandmother's.
Camille.
He wedged the ring into a crack in the stone's base. Then he knelt there, his shoulders shaking.
I'm sorry. I'm giving this back to you. I was never worthy. Lighthouse Foundation. At the last moment, you are still thinking about helping those girls.
I didn't reveal myself. I just watched him until he left. The next day, Victoria handed me an acquisition case. Neurax Technologies. You'll handle it.
Alone?
Whitfield is representing the other side. He's a notorious killer in negotiations. I walked into the conference room. Whitfield's eyes landed on me.
Victoria didn't come herself? How surprising.
He smiled. That kind of smile, the smile of someone seeing prey. My opponent, Whitfield, was an old fox. Every word unraveled my bid. Every pause tested my limits. I panicked, driving the price all the way to 80 million. But the deal was still taken by the other side.
My legs were shaking as I walked back to Victoria's office.
You lost. It was a test, Camille. I designed it for you to lose.
I froze.
Because I wanted to see how you'd face complete failure. When there's no way out, what you choose to do.
I won't lose again.
I know. She placed a folder in front of me. Your ex-husband's company operates 12 shipping routes in Southeast Asia.
Which one do we start with?
All of them.
I opened the first page. It was a supply chain map of Pacific Maritime. Every line, every outline, every dependency marked in red. I finally had something to do. One morning, my private investigator sent me a photo. Stefan was kneeling on a beach, holding open a ring box. Rose stood before him, hands over her mouth. I stared at the photo for 2 full minutes. Not because of heartbreak, because I needed to see whether the kneeling man wore any hesitation on his face.
There was none.
That afternoon, Victoria pushed open my office door and placed a folder in front of me. What's this?
An engagement gift for your ex-husband and sister. But not for them, for you. I opened the first page. It was Rose's entire fashion brand supply chain.